What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So President Biden is promising more money. We got some huge stimulus updates today. Want to talk about inflation, but first, the very first thing that I want to address is today, the United States Treasury Department, they announced that our national debt is over $30 trillion. Look at this. We have now increased our national debt by $7 trillion since the end of 2019, and lawmakers are looking at different ways to reduce this debt before it is too late. Look at the number climb. That is insane. It just keeps on going up. Now, that's not great. But we also know President Biden is saying that more money is coming. More money is coming to the American people. He addressed the news today that many workers keep leaving their jobs, and they're leaving in search of something better. They're looking for higher wages, better benefits. And he stated that workers, many workers, are only being enticed to stay at their jobs through stimulus, such as hero retention bonuses, higher pay, even temporary paid leave, like we are seeing in the state of Washington. Now, President Biden also addressed how many states received a portion or a percentage of the $350 billion that was funded to them through the American Rescue Plan. This was back in March of 2021. Now, none of the states have gone through all this money. There's still billions of dollars on the table. There's billions of dollars of pandemic funding that the states must decide on how to use it and spend it. But, and I stated this over the past couple of days, that the reports over the past few days have been saying that state officials are waiting for the government funding bill first. That's the first thing that must happen. They want to see the government funding bill before they decide how to spend their pandemic funding. Now, to some, you're thinking, well, this isn't good. This isn't good. This means we're not getting anything. But I want to be very clear. There are some states that are providing funding, whether it's something like additional aid, additional rental assistance, which is still very slow to get out, more nutrition assistance, things for unemployment, right? We see things for utility assistance. There's hero pay. Teachers are getting some form of retention bonus for staying on and teaching during this tough time. So we're getting that. We're getting stuff for essential workers, medical staff. There's a lot of funding going out. Now, here's why things are so important. And this is where things are really coming down to the wire. Because what we know is that Democrats now know that more benefits will be coming to the American people. So, in a sense, they're not really rushing to pass the Build Back Better Act if it's just going to be kind of, picked apart, at least according to some. They want to see a decent bill. But Democrats are also saying that they must pass a bipartisan omnibus bill to fund the government. And if they do that, they also know that agreement in passing the bill, especially with a bipartisan vote, which it has to pass that way because there's not 60 Democrats and we can't do a government funding bill through a budget reconciliation. But what they are saying right now is that if they can do this, if they can do this with bipartisanship, this would be a win for them. And again, they want to do it with Republicans. That's the goal. And they understand that this is the first domino that must fall. If Democrats can pass the government funding bill, an omnibus bill, if this domino falls, this is just going to tip over the other ones. And this is going to make it easier to pass the rest of the Democrats' agenda. Now, is this going to include the Build Back Better Act? Probably not. Because we heard from Senator Joe Manchin today. Here's what he had to say. He said, well, he pretty much just put a nail in the coffin of the Build Back Better Act. Because when Senator Joe Manchin was asked about the Build Back Better Act, he said, and he was asked by I believe it was CNN reporter Mani Raju, he asked about it, and Senator Manchin said, "What Build Back Better bill? I don't know what you guys are talking about." And when Mani Raju asked him if there's been any talks with him about the Build Back Better Act, Senator Joe Manchin said, no, it's dead. Now, here's why this is so important. Should we pass another $1.75 trillion bill? According to Senator Joe Manchin, no, because of this number right here, the national debt. Oh, look, our debt went down. Oh, good, because it was just at a 5 right there just a little bit ago, and it's going back up. So maybe that's not the greatest news, but hey, it's news. But here's the reason why some are siding with Senator Joe Manchin. Because of that number right there, the national debt. It's staggering. Just keep going up. It's going up. Okay? It goes up every single second. That's the scary part. And one of the main reasons why this bill is being considered as dead is because moderates want to see where inflation is heading. They want to see what the next CPI report shows. And that's not coming out until next week. I believe it's coming out on February 10th. That's next Thursday. We also know that moderates want to see what the jobs report looks like this week. Well, I can tell you right now, the White House is already preparing us for a dismal report. Okay? This week, the jobs report comes out. It comes out on Friday. Friday the 4th? What's that day? Friday the 4th. It comes out at 5:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time or 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay? And the very first video I do every single month when the jobs report comes out, I address the report. So if you come back on Friday at 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, I will do another report on that as well. Now, here's the reason why that is so important. Just between the end of December and the beginning of January, I believe it was like December 24th through January 10th, I believe. Okay, it's like 2 weeks. There was about 14 million people that were out of work at some point during that time. Now, this is an insane amount of people. And the White House is already preparing the American people for scary numbers. Just yesterday, Press Secretary Jen Psaki, she had this to say. Let me read it to you. And I quote, "We just wanted to prepare people to understand what it is, an assessment of, and as a result, the month's jobs report may show job losses in large part because workers were out sick from Omicron." Now, I believe this report is going to show the week of, I believe it's December 12th. I believe that's the week, okay? I could be wrong. Let's see, I believe it's December 12th. It's going to be that week is when they're going to show the report. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. But again, that comes out on Friday. Now, depending on how this jobs report looks, and then adding in the CPI data next week, this could actually put a huge damper on Democrats' plans and really hopes and dreams of getting another stimulus bill passed. Now, do the American people need this money? Yes. Okay, a lot of people still need the money. A lot of people are still waiting for their rental assistance. I addressed this yesterday where there's still lots of people. There's still people in this community here on the channel that are still waiting for their unemployment benefits from the beginning of the pandemic. They haven't even received them. That's how scary this is. Now, we are also seeing rents. They're rising more than 30% in certain states. People are being pretty much forced out of their homes simply because of rising rates. They can't afford the homes. They can't afford any of the other increases in the city. Things like utilities. It's just getting too expensive. And many are just moving in hopes of finding, some form of work and, being able to live at a cheaper rate. But according to experts, they say moving at this time is not the best idea. They say the best thing to do is stay at your current job, keep your current residence, do not make any life-changing decisions, and just push through this difficult time. If you can pretty much stay in your current city, okay, keep your job, don't change jobs, don't go and move and try to find a different job. If you're gonna move, find a new job first, make sure you like that job, and then you can move. The reason they're saying this is because, and I've seen multiple YouTube videos of this as well, and people on social media, they've moved in the past, say 6 months, and they got a new job, but they don't like their job, and so they're still trying to find something. And then they don't really like the area, so they're trying to either get out of their lease or sell their home or whatever, get out of that, and either move back to the life that they once had, try to get their old job back, which is in many cases very difficult. But right now, that's what we're seeing. We're seeing a lot of people struggling because, well, they up and just pretty much changed their lives. But according to experts, they say that is not the thing you want to do. You want to just maintain course and then push through. When all the dust settles, hopefully things will be much better. Now, I wish I could give you better advice than that, but honestly, that's the advice we're getting. That's what we're being told is just maintain course, don't deviate, just keep doing what you've been doing and things will get better. So hopefully that's the case. Right now, that is what we know. There's still a lot of hope that more stimulus is coming out, but again, it's not coming from our federal government. It's going to come from the state level. I've been saying this for months. If we see any stimulus, there's a much higher chance it comes from the state level as opposed to the federal government. And the writing's been on the wall. There's not enough Democrats that want to support this, especially in the Senate. Even in the House, it's in question. So we will see what happens. We'll see what goes on moving forward. But as always, as I know more, I promise I'll come back on and share all latest news and updates. Just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.